Welcome to the first test in AC EVO, and this is the Porsche GT4 RS. Car is completely standard, track surface is set to optimum and traction control is off. So the idea is to just give an impression of what the car is like on a medium fast lap. So I've driven this car probably for about 10-12 laps already since yesterday, and there's a lot more still to learn, a lot more still to get from it. But I just wanted to put this together just to give an impression of what it's like. Backing off already, braking hard for first chicane. Tyres are cold, so just tiptoeing a little bit. Can feel the ABS working. Okay, trailing in. Missed the apex, but turned in really nicely. He loves the trail brake. And you can flick it in. You've got to be a bit careful, it is mid-engined, but... And it took full throttle there. That was impressive. Lots of grip. Gonna use fifth here. Still not 100% sure what the best entry speed is. Pretty sure Arenberg is 6th. Every car will have its own lines and turning points, braking points. Haven't really found them yet for this. Braking a bit early there, I reckon. That was trail braking. It's just really progressive. Trying to keep it as straight as possible through the foxhole. See what the compression does. Really nice. Just thought I'd flick it through there a little bit. Just to explore. I think when you get used to it, that will all become really fluid. It's an easy car to make corners flow. It always feels like it's on your side. It's very cooperative, he says. So it can get lively at times, but it was all controllable. And that was more my being a little bit clumsy with it. Too deep there. Let's tidy it up now. Making downhill. Really good. See how neutral it is. Puts the power down really well there. That was third. Long flat out stretch now all the way to mute curve, so have a bit of a rest. So my impression so far is it's a really great chassis. Starting with this car probably wasn't the best plan because it's going to be difficult for any other cars I've tried to match this. Now it's just so nice to drive, and it's exciting and it's fun. So after the carousel is my favourite set of corners at the Nordschleife. Let's try a bit of power here. Yeah, it's just very progressive. Into the carousel. Flat now. Happy with that. Okay. Now the fun begins. Going a bit quiet, so I'm concentrating. Just tucks in so well. Just prepping it for this left now. Really nice. Again, you can control the car so much on the brakes. You're turning it as much with the brakes as with the steering. I think that's a sign of a really good chassis. Lovely change of direction. The damping's really good. I haven't really spoken much about that. It's dealing with bumps. It's not really pitching that much. It's dealing with curbs nicely. Good example there. Turned in slightly early there, so I'm offline now. See if we can gather it back easily. Backing off there, and it just taps in. There's more speed to be found in that corner. And there. Mini carousel. See how much speed we can carry in here. Trying to get it tucked in. That was more my fault in the car. Okay, what was that time? 7:07. That's probably okay, considering I was talking, I'm not used to it. Slow it down. So to summarise on this car, well, it's easily one of the best cars I've ever driven in sim racing. I've been sim racing since the early 1990s, and this just seems to be something really special, and it's amazing that it's the first car I've tried in AC EVO at Nords. It just happens to be that good. So I'm encouraged as to what they're going to be, what the other cars are going to be like. This particular one, engine and gearbox, really good. There's plenty of power. It's just the right amount of power from the chassis, which I really like. Gearbox is great. The down changes, the rev matching is absolutely spot on. So there's no problem with downshifting in the middle of a corner, even if you're at the limit of adhesion. It's okay, you can still do it. And the car is happy. I know in AC1 sometimes the rev matching wasn't quite right. This one is good. In terms of braking, brakes are great. I was looking at the temperatures occasionally, and there was never any issue with those. Car stopped really well. ABS very effective. It's clearly not a race car in terms of how much it weighs, but it was absolutely fine. One thing I would note about the braking is the bias is perfect for my driving style. It's exactly the way I like it. The way I trial brake, it couldn't be any better. I wouldn't touch the brake bias on this car, and that's rare for me. Usually when I try a car sim racing, I normally have to move it back a little bit, very occasionally move it forward, but in this case, as I said, I wouldn't touch it. It's perfect. So that was a real plus point. Aero, there's probably not a lot to say about it. I suspect it does have some fairly effective aero on this car. You don't really feel, it doesn't really come through on the sim. perhaps because it's just there and it's doing its thing. It felt good. It felt stuck to the track as you would expect in a high-speed stuff. Particularly the higher speed corners, it gave you confidence. So I suspect there's a little bit of error going on there. It's balanced. It wasn't tending to oversteer or understeer in high-speed corners unless you went in at silly speed, in which case you got just progressive understeer as you would expect. I think the big thing about this car is the handling. This car is just fantastic. It's so much fun to drive. It's, as I've mentioned, it's progressive, it's forgiving. You can tri-brake it with confidence. You can flick it into corners and drive it out on the throttle. It does everything in it you would want in an entertaining car without having any vices. There's nothing this car really does to bite you unless you make quite a serious error. You know, if you overcorrect it, you can collect it, but you don't really want to overcorrect this car because it is quick and it's grippy, but it is still forgiving with it. It's just a fantastic chassis, and I'll be driving this car a lot, I think, both on multiplayer services and just hot lapping with it, because to try and find a little bit of extra speed as you push on, you can still find a little bit extra in the occasional corner, and it almost enjoys being pushed hard. And you can see in this video actually that we're watching the external views. This was a lap I did the next day that was actually, I think, 4 seconds quicker. So I'm still finding time. It's just 2 laps later, another 4 seconds. There's plenty more to come. And yeah, fantastic car. I'll be driving this a lot. Highly recommended. Start with this car, and hopefully it won't ruin the rest of it. Hope you enjoyed the video.